Christmas cookies. Everybody has their favorite, and this one is mine. My mom made it every year, and I make it almost every year too. She called them Russian tea cakes. You may know them as snowballs. Jump on in and make them with me. There are just a few simple ingredients in this cookie. You don't even use eggs in this recipe. So if you have someone allergic to eggs, that's a plus. We're going to start with 2 sticks of butter. That's 1 whole cup of butter. We're going to add powdered sugar, and it's only going to be half a cup. So I'm just going to kind of lightly fill up our half a cup. Out like that. Okay, and let's go ahead and mix this. All right, now that we have our butter and powdered sugar together, let's add some other ingredients. We're going to use some salt, but we're not going to use much. It's only going to be about 1/4 of a teaspoon. And then we're going to use vanilla, about a teaspoon, and I'm just going to do a splash in here. That'll be fine. About like that. And then one of the ingredients that makes these so delicious is pecans. And they are chopped very finely. I'm going to pour some out in my hand so you can see. These are really finely chopped pecans. And so I've got about 3/4 of a cup is what you want in this recipe. So let's put them in now too. Let's go ahead and give this a quick mix, and then we'll add our flour. Okay, that's started to get incorporated into it. I'm going to scrape this down, and then we will add our flour, which is our final ingredient for these cookies. All right, we want to add 2 1/4 cups of flour. I'm going to measure mine out like I usually do for baking. There's 1 cup. There's 2 cups. We want to do 1/4 of a cup. I have a 1/2 cup measuring cup already out, so I'm just going to kind of use it. Make sure not to get too much in it. You do not want too much flour in this recipe. See, that right there looks like about a 1/2 cup. Okay, now let's let it mix. Okay, I'm going to stop it here. You can see I've got a clump kind of on my mixing paddle, so I'm going to get it off. And this is one of those cookie doughs that it looks like you're going to have too much flour and it's not going to come together. And it does take a little bit for it to do so, but it will. Just trust the process. It will do it. You can see it's starting to come together a little bit more now. And there we go. We've got our dough now. It is so simple. It's really quick and easy to put this together. The hardest part is rolling them out in the tiny little snowballs. So let's do that now. Okay, I've got our cookie dough out, so let's start rolling it out. And you just want to pinch off just about a tablespoon. You do not want these cookies too big. You want them to be small and bite-sized cookies. You want them about that size. So just pinch off about a tablespoon. Roll it in your hands like that. And then just line them on your cookie sheet. And you do need to leave a little bit of space between. They're not going to spread way out, so you don't need a ton of space, but just do leave a little bit of space. You don't want them touching even after they bake. You want them separate. All right, even though it didn't look like a whole lot of dough, This is only probably about half of it, but we're going to go ahead and bake our tray of cookies, and I'll do the other ones later. But I want you to get to see what they look like when they're completed. We're going to put them in the oven at 375 degrees, and you do not bake them long, only 7 to 8 minutes. I'm going to set my timer for 7 minutes and probably take them out then. Our cookies are ready, 7 minutes exactly. And you can see the bottom edge is just barely starting to get brown. You don't want it to get real brown, so pull them out when yours get to that point. We're going to roll them twice in powdered sugar. We're going to do it once while they're warm, but we've let them cool just 2 to 3 minutes so that we can touch them. And we're going to roll them in powdered sugar now, and then we'll do it again after they cool. So I'm going to put some powdered sugar in my dish. How cute is this dish? We're all about Christmas cookies here, but here, I picked this up in Savannah a few years ago, and I just loved it. 12 days of Christmas in the South, 12 chickens frying, 11 footballs flying, 10 porch swings swaying, 9 preachers praying, 8 biscuits baking, 7 pickups honking, 6 hunters hunting, 5 mason jars, 4 fireflies, 3 jugs of sweet tea, 2 bless your hearts, and a blossom in a magnolia tree. How perfect is that? I thought it was so cute. So if you're not from the South, you may not like it, but I loved it.
You not going to segment?
No, I'm not going to. Thanks. But anyway, we're going to put some powdered sugar in this dish and use it to roll our cookies in. And then I've got my serving dish here. That may be, yeah, I can just pick them up at this point. I'm just going to roll each one while they're still warm. That's going to help that powdered sugar soak in a little bit. And then we'll come back and give the final coat to it later. That's going to give them that pretty white snowball effect. And you get a lot of sweetness on the outside of this cookie, which is why there's not a whole lot of sugar in the actual cookie dough. If you'll notice, it was only a half a cup for the whole batch of cookie dough, so that's not a whole lot. Okay, that's our first layer of the powdered sugar on it. So we'll let them cool probably for 20 to 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll do that second coat. We're ready to put the second coating of the powdered sugar on our snowballs. You can see what they look like now after that first round. So let's go ahead and put the second layer on. And now you see you're going to have a nice, pretty white cookie that looks like a snowball. Now let's give our snowball cookies a taste test. Let's see if I can get they're all kind of the same size, but I want a smaller one. I have to say, this one is my favorite. I can't think of Christmas without thinking of this cookie, and it's just got such a sweet, buttery flavor to it. But it's not too sweet because you didn't add a lot of sugar into the cookie dough itself. And those pecans just give it that subtle nuttiness. I just love this cookie, everything about it. It's delicious. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Mary Catherine's Table. I'm sure glad you were along for the ride. It was just a really, really fun time for me. And I hope that you'll share us with your friends and hit subscribe if you'd like to see more content. Make sure you have it set where you'll get the notifications for all the videos that we come out with. We'll have more before Christmas gets here, so be checking back for more holiday treats. And remember to go out and find somebody today who needs a little bit of kindness and give them some of yours.